In Kerala, the initial cases were reported in the month of by January 30th. And in Pathanamthitta district, the initial positive cases were reported by March 7th. We have got 5 positive cases on March 7th. The initial strategy was to go for an aggressive contact tracing, for which all the available mechanisms were used. Initially, we have collected as much information as possible from the patient and later from the contacts which the patients have revealed. And other IT techniques like tracking the mobile tower locations, the Google Map timelines were also used. Based on all these informations which we have collected, we have prepared a spatio-temporal map. And along with the map, we have released 2 contact numbers wherein people could call us and report whether they were there at that particular point in time and that particular date and location. Now, based on all these informations, we have compiled the contacts they had. And in the initial 4 days itself, we could track 1,254 people. And we have isolated them and we have sent them for the strict home quarantine. So home quarantine was the second step which we had to ensure. To ensure that we have, initially we have started a call center here with more than 200 volunteers, later on which we had added more than 150 people more into that call center. Using that call center, we had tracked 5 issues. First was the medical requirement of these people who are staying in home isolation, and all the medical requirements were met through the PHCs. And later, another thing was the non-medical requirements like food and other provisions. For all those people who couldn't afford a meal, we have started supplying food through the community kitchens, and for those who could afford to pay, we started the budget hotel, all this as per the direction of the state government. And there are additional provisions which people could pay were also provided with the help of volunteers and based on the payment options. Third provision was for the call center, third item which we have monitored were the psychological assistance through the counselors which we have posted in the headquarters. Fourth was the most important thing to ensure a strict home quarantine, for which we have developed an indirect questionnaire which was developed by the Trivandrum Medical College and which we have used to seek responses from the people who are staying in isolation. And based on the responses, we have decided whether they are in strict isolation or if they are breaking the quarantine. If they were found breaking quarantine, legal actions were taken against them to ensure strict home quarantine. And the last thing, the 5th point, was to screen all these home isolated people for symptoms developed. And all those people who have developed symptoms were further screened based on the inputs given by the call center by a medical team. And if they found of serious symptoms, they were admitted to the hospitals and swabs were taken from them. So this activity had happened in the initial week itself, and from second week onwards, we started getting a large number of people coming from international, other countries and other states as well. So by March 24th, by the time we had this lockdown declared by the central government, we had more than 4,000 people, international travelers, coming to Pathanamthitta district. Similarly, more than 3,000 people have come from other states as well by the time of 24th of March. Now, we had the 7,000 plus people under home surveillance from other states and other countries, in addition to the 1,200 people who have come in contact with the Italian family who came to Pathanamthitta by March 7th. Now, all these 8,000 people were called on a daily basis, and they were contacted using the call centers, and the informations were sought. Similar to the earlier questionnaire, 5 issues were sorted out and the provisions were supplied at their home to ensure that all of them are strictly home quarantined. Later, we had to evolve a strategy of testing these people, for which we have